This is the morning reflections group of the Camp Mac event.
One meeting, please.
Having a meeting. What we're going to do today is talk about our experience for this weekend, what we learned and what we, experienced during the weekend specifically. This is going to be recorded, just like they do the speaker tapes. This will be recorded. So anyone and everyone is welcome to come up, and when you talk, you need to come up here so Ricky can tape this for further listening. Listen pleasure. And I'll just say my experience was, since I'm standing here, I'll just say, let me have a moment of silence and followed by a serenity prayer. Prayer. God, give us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. It was very hot, and I didn't know myself if I wanted to come because I get very uncomfortable in the heat. But I think it's really important. For me, what I like so much about Camp Mac is there's no phones, there's no TVs, there's no sirens, there's no boom boom cars which drive by my house at 4 o'clock in the morning. Drive by. And it's quiet and it's in nature. And sometimes when we go to meetings, it's like you go to a meeting, share, and leave. How do you connect with people that way? It's not the same. But I enjoyed it, and I met people that I've never seen before, and I saw people I haven't seen in a while. And it's like everybody's just comes in, and it's like we're all supposed to be, enjoying each other's company and enjoying our recovery and learning, what we need to learn. And, we only keep what we have by giving it away. So whoever wants to come up next, please feel free, and thanks.
Who are you?
I'm Beth. Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, family. My name is Johnny, and I'm an addict. I'm going to give honor first to a power greater than myself, which I call God, for bringing me to Camp Mac, for my sponsor, my sponsorship family that comes up here almost every year and always asks me, am I coming? And I made it this year. And I learned how to come to be at peace, come together, loving, caring, as the theme of this thing. We grow with love. I learned to come up here and everyone I meet, whether I know them or not, learn to love them, learn to hug them, and that's what it's all about, fellowshipping, and that's what. And my first time here, when I came through the gates of Camp Mac, like a peace hit me. Say, peace. I ain't in Detroit, and everybody ain't knocking on my door, and somebody ain't calling me to asking me for this, or do you want to go here? I come up here and I can walk and be quiet and just concentrate, and fellowship with my brother that I see every day, and it's been wonderful, my heart is full, man. I hate to leave, but we got to go, and I just love it. I just love it, and if with God will, if I can make it back next year, I'm coming, With that, thanks for letting me.
Thank you, Johnny.
I would say something. My name is Rick, and I'm an addict.
Hey, Rick.
I want to share about Camp Mac. I think about 2 weeks ago, one person that actually tapes this has been coming up here for the last 8 years. They wasn't able to make it this year. They had another obligation they had to go, and they asked me. And at first, I wasn't gonna come. I was gonna stay home with my family, being Memorial Day weekend, and I had an opportunity, which I don't get that often, to be off. type of work I do, and just so happened I was off, and so I told him I agreed to come up here, and I didn't have really an idea of what to expect or anything like that. But one of the biggest factors that really helped me to come up here is that I'm getting married, and and we speaking of today, as today is 12 days. 12 days I'll be getting married. So I really felt the get away from all the other little things. Plus another thing helped me. It was Women Weekend too. So, you know, people had a bridal shower and all this and that. And that was also a big factor me coming up here. But I knew enough that if I come up here for some type of serenity and some peace to kind of get in touch with who I am, and you know, I always had these doubts, you know, it got one hand fear of getting married. This will be my first marriage. The other part is, you know, this is what I want to do. So it was more like a soul search. And even while I was here, you know, just meeting people, you know, talking to people I haven't met and so forth, that also played a big part because, you know, when we get out and we broaden our base, you know, and we know in some way, form, or fashion we will cross again. But by me being my first time, I really didn't know or have any understanding. I know I really had a wonderful time. I truly had a wonderful time. And the camp, especially early this morning, I was up at 6 o'clock this morning and I was just walking, you know, and I was getting in touch with this nature and God, and, you know, it really put a place in my heart, that serenity that kind of now really got me more excited about getting married. Before, because I didn't know, you know, being in the city, everything coming, going, you know, and you know, we constantly preparing, getting things ready for where I really didn't really get there until this weekend. This weekend have came over me that gave me some peace, you know, and I really, really enjoyed this camp, and I know part of me coming here now, I will come back again, you know, and it just was laid back. Everybody was friendly, you know. I mean, everything, you know. I mean, I ate three meals a day, and normally in the city, I only might eat 1 or 2 times doing, you know, because I'm steady running and doing this and doing that. But, you know, I really thank God because when I went over by the tree, and I looked at it and I sit there and it's just amazing, you know. And I kept hearing people talk about it, and I kept saying, well, if I get time, you know, I'm taping and I'm running back and forth, but I made time. And this is the important thing. It's like this camp really had an atmosphere of just enjoying, just being laid back, you know, just getting with God, you know, people just, you know, I can't really express it in words, but I just truly want to say, you know, that I enjoy everyone in here, and you know, this won't be the last time you see me. Somewhere down the road, somewhere, our path will cross again. And I just thank y'all. Y'all have a nice trip back home, too.
You too.
I'm an addict. My name's Robert.
Hey, Robert.
I thank God for another day clean. Anybody new? Welcome. Welcome. Anybody new to Camp Mac? Welcome. The weekend, awesome as usual. Awesome weekend. Coming up here for me is getting away from the hustle and bustle, getting with myself. And this weekend, I really tried to put everything that was going on in the city away you know, just try to enjoy myself, just try to relax and do some meditation. I met some people this weekend that I've never seen before. We talked, we shared. I got their names. I know their names now. I see Beverly over there. You know, please come back. I see Jonathan. I see the faces. You know, it just and like Ricky said, sometimes you really can't express how you really feel in words. You know, but people know. They feel you. You know, but it's just a special place for me. Just coming on the campground, looking at the lake. You know, the environment, the hugs, all that. You know, and I really tried to soak that in. And, you know, I hate to go, you know, but the reality is I got to leave. But, see, I can keep this in my heart for the whole year. You know, I can remember. All I got to do is run the tape back and just remember the faces, the lake, the walks through the woods. You know, I can remember all that, you know. Like I say, I love coming up here. This is about my 6th year, and thank God for the people in my life. Thank God for the people that came up with me. You know, we have a special bond. You know, we have traditional things that we do every year, and you know, our cookouts. That's special. That's special. This is just a special place for me, and it just holds a special place in my heart. You know, and I'm gonna look forward to coming back next year, God willing. Thank you.
I'm a little nervous, y'all. You know, I never felt the experiences in my life. I live in South Bend. Ain't very many people that go to meetings. At least not females. I'm cross addicted. Sometimes I believe I was born an alcoholic and end up an addict too. But anyway, I'm just grateful to be here. I enjoy myself with everybody. This is my 2nd time relapsing, and I pray to my higher power each and every day to keep me, make me strong, and keep that demon away from me. And I'm just gonna take one day at a time. I have a mother who's an alcoholic. She's been alcoholic just about ever since I was born. That's why I say I believe I was born an alcoholic. And I'm there for her. She drinks at home. I stay with her, take care of her. But I pray every day that she'll lose that taste of alcohol too. It's just so wonderful. Like everybody say, I don't want to leave either. I'm speechless. Besides that, I'm powerless. I'm powerless on everything. And I thank God so much for sparing my life the 3rd time around. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. Because I was on death row. I call it death row because I know I was in the world. And I was just thinking about, I said, I got on the road. I said, I forgot my Bible because I sleep with my Bible, with me. And I got on my knees, I got to praying. And someone said, Beverly, you don't need no Bible. I'm always going to be with you. And that just really made me feel better. And people like y'all, I need them in my life all the time, 24/7. And I hope to see everybody again next year. And thanks for being so kind to me. And y'all is my gratitude. And thanks.
My name's Colby. I'm an addict.
Hey, Colby.
I usually really look forward to We Grow with Love. I know I can come here and really get touched by God. And when I sit there and look at the lake, and I just want to cry because life's so beautiful. And I know I'm getting better. It started to happen when I pulled into the gates, and then this year we was just driving down the road out of town, and I felt it coming, and I want to cry because I'm so happy that I've got another opportunity today. And I wish it was as easy to be like that, be humbled by God's touch at home as it is here. Something I'm going to have to work on. But it's easier here for me. And we had a wonderful weekend. This is the first weekend I haven't been rained on. I know that. 2 wonderful speakers. And I always look forward to coming back. That's all I got.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Pastor, you know you had a good time up here. Come on, tell us about it.
Order in the court. My name is Joe. I'm a grateful covering addict. I feel I'm a responsible member of NA now. Trying to figure out, this is how my brain works. What's SNAS? What's SNAS? So, but anyway, there's a lot of things. Actually, there's one thing that happened, and that's just feel God more. And one thing I always remind myself of is that when I leave here, I'm truly going back to the illusion, and this is the reality. And it doesn't have to leave because it's inside of me. All that happened here is that I relaxed and just focused. And somehow my heart opened up and just felt a lot of wonderful feelings. There's no reason for that not to happen when I go back to whatever I go back to. Really, not at all. It's a lot more conducive here. I'm not a saint, that's for sure. But the one thing I do know is that it is there to feel. And so what I try to do is feel it more often and not get too far from it and get back to it quicker. If I got to run in the stall at work or whatever, that's what I got to do. Some days I'm crazy by 9 a.m. Actually, I'm not working anywhere right now. But when I was working, sometimes I have to go in that bathroom by 9 a.m. and sit there and pray and meditate. It'd be in about 45 minutes. I'm already crazy. There was a lot of great talk about. We were talking about this last night. There's such an amazing true unity here, diversity. Gay, straight, all black, white. People with diagnosed real emotional, mental problems. There was talk about that. There was talk about medication. This is good. We need to talk. It ain't about what we're going to write some new literature or we're going to have some giant light bulb go off, but we're talking. That's the thing. That's how things happen for me. It ain't about right, wrong, or get to some big giant solution, but just to talk, and that's something we never did. Last night, I was outside my yurt. It was probably about 12:30 at night, and I could hear laughter in the distance. These are addicts, laughing, having a good time, real laughter, echoing through the woods. Real laughter, people really laughing. I thought, my God, what an amazing miracle we have here to I just don't want to die. Die penniless, living on this, sitting on this gold mine and die penniless. That's what we can do real easy by what we choose to do. And I was going to read something here. I guess I'll go ahead and do it. This is just a little. It's called Thank You. It says, "Thank you for holding the door open for me. I thought these dormant winds of mine had died long before their time. I thought these clouds of bitter rain would never have wind. I thought this turbulent sea was the real me. Thank you. I thought this dry riverbed had not one tear of joy to shed. I thought these ragged wings of light would never take flight. I thought this turbulent sea was the real me. Thank you. And I've heard a lot of thank you, God, which of course I do. Narcotics Anonymous in my recovery took me to God. If you can understand this, my recovery comes first before anything, because that is where the experience of God is for me. The people that came here for the first time, you'll be back. Usually it's people here that came for the first time or people that have been coming. That's about it. And it's just an amazing experience when we just let go and focus and just relax and experience something inside. And the newer people, you hear so much about blessings, all these wonderful things happening in your life. And what I have to say about that is the blessings are on their way. Some of them are already here. The only thing that gets in the way is this here. For me, for anybody here. So I hope you have a grateful day. And take it back to your areas. Thanks a lot.
My name is Jonathan. I'm an addict. And I'm going to work at not losing it up here today. I absolutely love this adventure this weekend, and as most of you know, I was planning on coming last year, and this week last year I had triple bypass open heart surgery, and so I was unable to make it. And you people bought a T-shirt for me, and everybody signed it and gave it to me in the hospital, and I really appreciated that. So I got here this year, and boy, I packed up half of my apartment I brought in, as Shannon can tell you, and some other people can tell you because they helped haul it in, and and that's what I was going to say was this group of people here right now have taught me how to say, please help me. It's helped me to say thank you. And I never was able to do that before. And, I've tried my best this weekend to say hi to every single person here. And I'm working at the names. I had a whole group down here. I named 6 of them wrong in a row. But I am working at the names, and and I gotta tell you, my city is Detroit. I gotta get my ass up there because that's a kick-ass city. There's some wonderful people, and I'm not going to go through the names and pick out the names of the people that I just love to death. But you guys have helped me so much, and again, if I haven't made the effort to come up and say hi to you and give you a hug this year, come back next year. Because I don't want you to die out there because you don't think somebody loves you.
I'm an addict. They named me Susan. I was just sitting here reflecting. This is really, really wonderful. This is like Pleasantville. Everybody is so nice. And, you come down, everybody is, good morning, how you doing? How did you sleep? And that's just not real. It is here. And this is something I'm going to take with me because it's like everybody should be recovering addicts. But that's just not the reality of it. We got to get back to the city, to the real world, where you got to lock your doors. Because I was kind of concerned about that when we went up and you know, just leaving everything out, lock the doors and going about your business and come back, everything is still there. And I'm like, wow, what's this? You know. But it's just to show that, you know, people do grow with love. You know, and this is a real loving atmosphere. I had a wonderful time after I got some acceptance that I was not going to Chicago. So I finally, you know, just when I got that acceptance, then it's just everything just opened up. You know, I could see the lake for what it was. You know, the tree, I could see that for what it was. You know, I heard, you know, some stuff about it, but it was nothing like being there and seeing for yourself. You know, I'm real grateful just to be in the atmosphere. You know, I would really love to come back because, like I say, it's like a perfect world. You know, everybody, you know, hugging and talking and smiling. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, it's amazing. You know, I'm real grateful for the experience. Thank you, Gerald, for, you know, just having the willingness to come. You know, so I'm real grateful, y'all. Thanks.
My name's Felicia and I'm an addict. And I got a little razzle dazzle. No, but seriously, I'm always grateful to come back to Camp Mac. You know, and I remember when I first came here, the first year I got here, I remember Joe, and he introduced me to a guy who had 40 years clean. That did something to my spirit, you know. And he autographed my book, and he wrote the Vicious Cycle in the book. You know, that's something I'll never forget. You know, and I went back and told everybody to try. I met this man for 40 years, and this is a story in the book, and he said he autographed. I got a picture of all of us together, right? You know, but that was just the first experience for me. But every year I keep coming back. You know, the love. Loretta, thank you. You know what I'm talking about. I need you women in my life. Lynn, I feel you, but it's gonna be all right anyway. You know, I'm always grateful to come up here, even though I got some stuff going on at home when I get back, but I'm able to deal with it. You know, I tell my coworkers about Camp Mac. They don't know I'm a recovering addict. Some of them do. But I go to this place every year in Indiana. They say, "Oh, you going again this year?" I say, "Yeah, I'm going every year." And I always bring them a little token back when I go back. I always have some I take back Camp Mac with me, you know. But this year has been awesome for me. You know, it's been real awesome. It ain't rain. Look, we went to the tree. I saw a deer. I said, "Let's go back." I was scared. Cause I'm a strictly city girl. I wasn't raised in the country. But but each time I go to that tree, it's something different that I feel. And then the people we come down here with, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know, y'all help me to grow with love. And I'm talking about the guys too. I love y'all. Without y'all, I don't know where I'll be. I'm just grateful.
Morning, everybody. I'm Rob. I'm an addict. Hey, Rob. I was going to say excuse my bedhead, but I forgot. You guys don't care. And you guys will love me anyway, and that's a good feeling. This is my first time at Camp Mac, and thank you. I had other friends telling me about it, and just the look in their eyes and the glow about them when they spoke of it made me very curious. And I've always been one to worry about the end of something. And I found myself in a place yesterday and this morning not worrying about the end because I got so much out of this weekend. Never knew I could have so much fun clean at a campfire, in a camping setting, outdoors, on a lake, fishing. And that all happened to me this weekend. Just an amazing feeling. I found myself at a point last night of such loving exhaustion that we were giggling so hard with a couple of addicts that just uncontrollable laughter from just being so overwhelmed and so exhausted, but a good kind of exhaustion, and for that I'm very grateful. The tree was a very nice thing also. I heard somebody speak of the tree, and that was a very good place to give my thanks. It's been an overwhelming experience, and one addict once told me that when I'm at a loss for words sometimes and I can't express my thoughts with words, that's God working with me, and it's a God thing, and I can just go with it and everything's going to be okay. And at that point right now, I'm at a loss for words. So I just want to say thanks to Camp Mac and you folks and everybody who organized this to give me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Andrea and I'm an addict. God makes no mistakes. It was predestined for me to be here at this moment, this hour, and this time. And phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. I'm overwhelmed with joy, gratitude, humility. I got some questions answered that I needed to finding out who I am more. And this place is giving it to me. I got some love from so many, from everybody here. And the hugs and the laughter is genuine. You know, most of us are professionals, and you know, my phone rang last night, and the first thing I do is say, "Oh, good morning, school social work, may I help you?" I forget I was not at work. You know, I'm just so used to that. That is a part of what I do. That's not who I am. And that's a setting. And this is a totally different setting where I can, I'm not at school, I'm not at work, I'm not with the kids, I'm not cooking. This is me, my time. I can loosen up, I can laugh. You know, Felicia, thank you. You don't know what you've done for me this weekend. Just allow me to be me. You know, I love laughter. I love playing. You know, that's a side of me. I've been so serious for so long. Everything was serious. You know, it's nothing funny. But I get something that I don't get at home a lot. I have a 16-year-old daughter who I love dearly and an 8-year-old son. But my daughter is not very affectionate. And God brought somebody in my life this weekend that I know was meant for our paths to cross. And I know it ain't got nothing to do with her daddy. This is between me and her. Thank you for showing me some affection that only God knew I needed. And thank you guys for just loving me for me. Thank you, Robert Jr., for air hockey. I just had a wonderful time, and thank you guys, and I will be back next year.
My name is Billy. I came here from South Bend. It's like about 8 or 9 days or something like that since I'd used. And now we're way at 13. That's an unlucky number, but it's a good number for me. Next year, I'll have a year in 13. So I tried to make every meeting that I felt like I could handle. I made every one but 2 meetings, and I mean, I got so much out of this that I'll take a lot with me, and hopefully I'll be able to give it to somebody else. Man, this has humbled me, I'll tell you what. I used to be the biker and the crazy musician that say anything, do anything, but this was such a humbling weekend to come up here. I grew up on a lake, and I love, you know, I found serenity in the woods when I was younger. I used to run through the woods up in Baldwin, Michigan, and sing nothing but soul music, you know. That's where I got my R&B from, you know. And now I think maybe, you know, I might try to work on a little different style, you know, of music and all. but it won't be related to certain topics. I thank Joe and my sponsors, you know, everybody that, my South Bend group, and everybody that, you know, I was up here with. And, man, I met so many friends up here. I just hope I remember all your names next year, you know. I think I will, you know. Thanks Steve for his craziness. I mean, I've known Steve for 13 years. We've both been musicians, and I think he was throwing water balloons 13 years ago. He never hit me, but I think Joe, you know, was a musician too, and he kind of understands that, you know, there's a lot of peer pressure in these bars where I came from, you know, to use. But now I know I have a choice, and I'm going back with a choice. I don't think I can get away from where my circumference is in these places because of what I do, but I can get away from picking up. And this has been fantastic for me. I liked your story. The first Saturday night, it was just, man, fantastic corrections. You know, don't fall down, you know, face forward and everything. You know, everything's too funny to me, you know, when like Joe said, he heard everybody laughing. I was over at that party for a while, you know, and I couldn't get close enough to hardly even play. But it was great, and I just want to tell y'all I love y'all, and I hope I remember all your names, and I hope you're all here next year, and I'm gonna be straight.
I'm an addict. My name is Robert. Hey, Robert. Really, we don't have to come up here and say who we are, because it feels like we know everybody. But Susan said something a while ago that really stuck, and that was, it ain't too many places you can go where you got men and women in the same building, in the same lodge. You know what I mean? Just in and out of their rooms, and you know what I'm saying? And like, I remember one time I went to the guys and I told them, did they feel violated by the women coming in the room? And if y'all did, let me know. And they was like, oh, we all right with it, you know? And that was cool. I want to also thank everybody, you understand, for participating and babysitting with my kids. You know, I just kind of, everybody just kind of blend in. And I remember when my daughter, we came back from dinner and she was talking to, what's his name? Tyler. And man, that was a major breakthrough, because she had somebody she could talk to, you know, and relate to, and I didn't know when that was going to ever happen. This has been a wonderful weekend for me. It's totally different. I've been coming up here for like the 8-9 years, and I brought my granddaughter up here one year. I brought my son up here about 6 years ago, but not to ever think that we had planned the trip a long time ago, and my daughter came into my life about 3 weeks ago. And it's been a lot of moments when I really wanted her to be here, and it wasn't supposed to happen then, you know. And I guess my biggest concern was whether she was gonna have a good time or not. And I was willing to take that risk. And it just worked out fabulous. You know, we've been doing a lot of things. We've been talking a lot. It's been a lot of fear with knowing I got two of my kids in my life, and they got different mothers. You know, it's a lot of stuff it's a lot of wreckage when we come out of the dope house and into the mainstreams of life that we leave behind. And we need not to run from that. We have to really work on trying to heal those places. And it's okay once we start breaking down and getting honest And so, you know, one of the wonderful things I'm glad to say is that I've had the courage to expose my kids to Narcotics Anonymous. You know, kids need to know where their parents are at. And I ain't ashamed about what I done. I'm talking about where we going today. It is where we going, Lynn. You know what I'm saying? It ain't where we were that counts, it's where we going. And I ain't got no problem taking my kids on this journey with me. So I'm grateful for all y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know, Robin, she came in the rooms when she was a little bitty baby. Robert came in the rooms when he was a little bitty baby. I used to take him in a carriage on the bus to the meetings, and I would get there, he'd be crying, and I'd be like, well, y'all just gonna let him cry? You know, and the girls in the fellowship helped me raise him in the rooms. You know, in the same way with Robin, when she came back, she wanted to know, was I still making them meetings? Yeah, Daddy still go to meetings. And a lot of the girls in the fellowship and guys knew her when she was 6, 5, 4, 3 in the room. So that all helped. I'm telling you, if you got kids and you don't know where they at, it's time to find them. Get with them. Don't run from them. You know, and my kids remind me of the opportunity that I didn't get when I was a kid. Because when I was 14, I was getting high. When I was 17, I was out of my damn mind. And I'm grateful today to show my kids that they don't have to use no matter what. They don't have to use no drugs no matter what. And I feel real gifted to know that I got kids that ain't on dope. You know, and if you got kids on dope, it's a way out. It is a way out, you know. And you don't have to think you take on that task all by yourself, because we can help you. And that's the thing about Robert. I ain't got no problem asking y'all to help me. I ain't trying to raise my kids by myself today, Johnny. You know what I'm saying? So I feel thrilled to be here. I got a lot of good messages, man. You know, even if I didn't want to come, man, it's just something that's done grown on me, to grow with love. I came up here the first time all alone by myself. It's a gentleman that's gone now, that's in the fellowship, that was in the fellowship, that worked at the MSO office, asked me, he said, Robert, you make a lot of conventions. He said, come here, I want to put something in your ear. And about 8 years ago, he told me, he said, go up to Camp Mac. And I came up here all by myself, and I haven't had a reason not to want to come back. And each year, I've always brought somebody back with me, and now I got 5 carloads coming up here. You know what I'm saying? So this thing do work, man. You know, so I'm just truly grateful and hope God to see all y'all next year. Thanks.
I'm Steve, I'm an addict.
Hey,
Hi, guys. Don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, or how loud to say it. It was 11 years ago, and I came to the first one of these, my first one. And I instantly really dug it, because I used to do this kind of stuff in Boy Scouts and things like that. And Memorial Day weekend was always a time that my friends used to like go camping on some beach up in Michigan or something for the weekend. And I can't be around almost any of them anymore. And I miss them a lot. And I miss that, you know. And this is so nice for me because, you know, so many musicians I can't be around anymore. I'm so glad to see you here. Because during the week, I have to run a business, and I have to pretend I'm normal all the time, and instill confidence and all this crap, and if I be myself, people judge to be weird thing, you know. If you're acting silly, you're an idiot, you know. And I can come here and be silly sometimes, and don't have to worry about people dissing me, you know, too much. I'm glad none of the water balloons met their marks. The only one that ever got wet, I think, was people throwing them. We got really soaked because they kept blowing up in our faces, and I'm glad too because we really didn't want anybody to get wet that didn't want to get wet. So we tried to stay far enough away. We were pretty sure you wouldn't get hurt, hit, and put up warning signs. Offered plastic bags for cell phones when you're coming down the trail. A lot of you met one of my kiddies last night. He's not a newcomer. My kitty. This is his third meeting, and he was actually addicted for a while too. He used to, like, when my back was turned, run up and lick the plate and run away. So he was, like, actually had some withdrawals himself too, believe it or not. So plus there's a lot of fellow black cats for him to be around too. He likes that. I'm just last 2 years were really awful for me, and I'd come every 3 or 4 years, and I started just coming, bits and pieces, and you really don't get to know people, and they don't get to know you, and when you do that, I'm gonna try and come back here every year and stay here the whole weekend or most all of it. And I gotta say, I think my favorite times were actually the little one-on-one moments here and there with people you don't know. It seems like God's really around here, and none of those little conversations were an accident. And I love you all. Thanks.
Hello, family. My name is Walter. I'm an addict, and I'm from Detroit. We grow with love. Another weekend here. I love it. I kind of look forward to this weekend every year. It's a lot of love here, a lot of spirituality, a lot of just truth. A lot of people being themselves. You can come here and expose yourself. And I love it. I look forward to this every year. I'm going. I don't know. I don't share that much, but I'm just gonna keep coming.
Oh boy, how y'all doing? Man. Oh boy. Well, I was sitting back listening to everyone, expressing how they feel and what's going on with them, and I was listening to Walt, and we got a lot to be grateful for because number one, we're from Detroit, and our home group is Recovery on DeQuinta, and we do a lot of things, and we're fortunate that we can bring our own chef up here with us. See, Walter do all the cooking when he come up here, and he don't want nobody to do nothing, just sit down and relax. And I find myself a lot of times saying, Walt, you need any help? He said, no, I got it. So we've learned to just sit back and let him do what he want to do. And we're grateful for you, Walter. We're really grateful. And then I'm grateful for my sponsorship family. My sponsor sitting right here, man, he always makes sure if he don't see you, he gonna call you. And if you don't answer the phone, he might end up over your house. Wanting to know, are you all right? If you miss a meeting, before he leave the meeting, he done called you, are you all right? I'm all right, sponsor. And so those are good things, you know. And everybody, like they were saying, is loving and caring and sharing around here, you know. And I wouldn't miss coming here for nothing in the world. We have a good time. It takes us about 3 to 3.5 hours to get here, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful ride, and we're all communicating, and we're all on the same line. And I just wanted to say it, but you know, this is about my 3rd or 4th time coming up here, and you know, it seems like I be getting a little pain here and there, you know. I don't know if I'm getting older or what, but you know what I'm saying? But, you know, just like when I got up, my knee, you know, I'm like, where this come from? But I didn't let it stop me, you know. I'm going to keep coming. I'm going to do like I'm supposed to. See, I'm supposed to exercise and watch what I eat, but when I come up here, I eat up everything I see. You know, I'm a newlywed. That was my wife, Felicia. You know, and, you know, this is a new experience for me, and
sorry.
Oh, okay. It's a new experience for me because you know, I ain't used to nobody saying, "What you eating? What's that? Why you eating?" You know, every time I turn around, you're not supposed to be having that. Okay. But up here, I like anything goes. I mean, I mean what I see, and the food be good, you know. But see, now when I go back home, my sponsor already told me, we're gonna work out. We're gonna take our walks, and we're gonna do what we got to do. I said, okay, sponsor. But anyway, you know, I'm just glad to be here and with my friends, and hope God bless everybody, and I hope everybody have a safe trip home. And thanks for letting me know.
Hi, my name is Sharita Numnatic. Hi, I have really had a great time, like I always do here. And Camp Mac is just a beautiful place. A lot of wonderful memories. Time where I definitely get to vomit anything that I've been kind of make me sick. And not that I do that all the time, but it's just like, you know, once we get here and we start bonding and talking and stuff start flowing, and sometimes there may be things going on that I don't even really know is making me sick. And then, you know, we have a way of getting it out and sharing our hope, strength, and experience, and getting to see another perspective of it. That's always been the case here for me. And, you know, I've come here when it's been a good year the months before. I've come here when it's been a horrible year before, and I have appreciated being embraced no matter what the year has been like. And I always love to see, I love to see new faces, but I also definitely love to see the old faces, because it's just like this silent victory, like we made it, you know. Made it through the fire another year. This time last year when I was here, my dog passed away. And I was here, and it was just devastating going through this thing over the telephone. And my husband did something really, really special to, you know, make sure that the dog was buried in a really sacred place. And that makes Camp Mac, you know, all the more special to me. It's the only time that I get a chance to be a part of a motorcycle gang when I come here. You know, motorcycle people take over the cabin down there, and I used to kind of feel like, you know, that was their cabin, but they weren't gonna run me off though. And so I kept coming back over there, and now, you know, we just all one big family, and I look forward to seeing them. We share food. It's just a really, really beautiful thing. And in Kalamazoo, I do a lot of work pertaining to social justice and anti-racism and dismantling racism and stuff like that. And so I really appreciate the diversity that we have here. That is very, very special to me. Very, very special to me, because it's hard work back at home. And so to come here where none of that matters, and it's just really a beautiful thing. And I was really relating when Lynn was saying, what color is clean? Because I certainly experienced that when I come here. My husband used to come with me, and the last 3 years that we were here, the last 3 years before he stopped coming 2 years ago, we had really chilly weather. I mean, it was rain and it was cold. But the true Camp Mackers, we don't care what the weather is when we're here. We don't care what it is. It could be raining, whatever the case may be. We just have a good time. And so this year, I got to tell him he really missed out because we had fantastic weather. He came up to visit, but this year, the weather was beautiful, the people was beautiful, the experience was beautiful. And the home group that had the event yesterday, that was just fabulous. That was just absolutely fabulous. I had a really good time. I felt extremely welcome. You can just walk anywhere around here and just be embraced into a real wonderful experience. And I really, really, really like that. Narcotics Anonymous has been one of the most powerful things that has ever happened to me. My mother did a good job with the tools that she had, but being in this program, I realized I was opened up to a new level of life after coming into Narcotics Anonymous, which affects every aspect of my life, the decisions that I make, the things that I do, especially when nobody is looking. Narcotics Anonymous taught me that. How am I living when nobody is looking? The greatest challenge that I have before me is the situation with my job. And, when I first got here, it just felt like this really huge ball. What on earth am I going to do about this situation? And then I just, all you got to do is just show up. And I've been hearing people experience, by the time you get done hearing experiences, it just kind of shrinks your issue. When I'm looking at it out the window, I came here looking at it, it was this huge thing. And now that situation has shrunk tremendously, and I don't feel so powerless. I don't have the anger attached to it. And, I can work up this whole thing in my mind about all these people are working against me. And, and I was sharing with Sandy last night, and it was just so wonderful for her to say, well, just maybe it's not like that. Nice way of saying, just maybe you tripping, right? So, that was really, really good to have and to actually break it down to the job that I have so many freedoms and liberty. There's actually some of the things that I'm allowed to do at my job, the freedom, the flexibility, just all the stuff that I can do. It's really not a price tag on some of those things that I get to do, and I realize it's a blessing. Not to mention that before I came into the program, I almost demolished everything that I went to school for. You know what I'm saying? So the opportunity that I have, I didn't have to have that opportunity, and so I'm really, really grateful for that. And I heard somebody else say, how did they put it? They said, I think it was Mark that was saying, always find the gift. What's the gift in the situation? And so I see that now. I'm going back with a new perspective. And lastly, I want to say, I don't drive many places myself. For one, I'm a travel agent, so I try to fly everywhere I go. And when I'm driving, my husband does all the driving, so I'm spoiled to being a passenger. And I always have this little dilemma when it's time to come to Camp Mac, because I prefer to be driven. But when you driving, you're on somebody else's schedule, you're on somebody else's agenda. So I was gonna ride with this one guy, and he didn't know what time he was gonna get off work, and it really just all boiled down to you need to drive yourself. And I have a little fear around that, but I did it. I got the stuff off the internet, so I was really proud of myself, for driving down by myself, listening to some wonderful stuff on my way here. And it was definitely worth it, and I don't want to leave. I'm leaving a whole lot better this year than last year. I was kind of broke up last year. I was really emotional when it was time to go. This year, I feel more like a big girl. I can leave without crying this year. I hope to see you guys again next year, and I definitely plan on being here.
Maddox named Mark.
Hey, Mark.
I don't have a lot to say. Just want to thank everybody for coming. Wouldn't be possible without you people. Special thanks to Michigan, because you guys just support this thing. Terrific, man. Would have never dreamed 15 or 16 years ago that this would still be going, you know, that this would be number 14. It's good to see some new friends, meet some new friends, see some old friends, and we'll be here next year waiting on you. We got a new website. Everybody try and get on there, check it out, give us feedback. And that's it. Keep coming back. We grow with love.
I'm Loretta and I'm an addict. Camp Mac for me is coming home. I got a whole new family up here. You know, it gives me a chance to get to know my family I came up here with a little bit more. Each year we get closer. Even though we do things together at home. You know, sometimes we have a business meeting and we end up having a meeting in there because we haven't found out what's going on with each other and we need to know. You know, and then to come here solidifies that, and then it adds more people into our family. You know, I can identify with a lot of things I've heard here that has to do with love. Lonnie, your sponsor don't just call you in the sponsorship family, okay? Don't let him see or hear from you about a week or so. He gonna call you and find out where you at and why I ain't seen you, okay? You know, I've got a lot of brothers in here. I owe a lot of my recovery to my brothers because they have gotten me through a lot of things. I will never forget my sisters. Coming up here this weekend, being able to have the experience that I had with the women here, it just made all these, it's like those 7 years I've been coming has just done built up to this. You know, coming here to Camp Mac and wanting to get around more women and being scared and still dealing with that low self-esteem with 18 years. You know, and then to get there yesterday and when we had that meeting, sitting on the grass just talking, and I got to meet so many women, you know, and to be able to receive the gift that I was supposed to receive from each of them, just like I received the gift that I'm supposed to receive from each of you. That's what that means to me. You know, I come up here to get what I need so I can last through the year. And it carries me the year. I start running out just about that Monday before we leave. And they will tell you, I'm steady going all that week. Come on Friday, come on Friday. I be up at 5. We don't even get to the restaurant to meet till 9, but I'm up and I'm ready and I done packed on Tuesday night. Because I need this. There's been a couple of years when I didn't know how I was going to get here. This year I asked my kids for Mother's Day, pay my way to Camp Mac. I'm here. You know, thank you, Robert, for inviting me the first time. You know, and our family that comes up here, like you said, has grown. I am so grateful for all of you. All of you have no idea, and you never will know how much each and every one of you mean to me, because you will be a part of my life for the rest of my life. Like I was sharing in the meeting last night, I will never be alone. Listening to Lynn share last night showed me so much courage and let me know that each one of us have that inside of us. All we got to do is believe that it's there and we can get through anything. Because if we got through addiction, nothing in the real world can stop us. Nothing. The only people that stop us is us. You know, and I just want to share this. Even though you see people with a lot of clean time, don't forget that we need those hugs. Don't forget we need to say you got something from us. Don't forget that we have low self-esteem too, regardless of how much clean time we have. Sometimes we have that good day when I'm the shit. Then we have them days when, dang, I ain't said nothing. Ain't nobody getting it. We need to let each other know what we get from each other. You know, that's the one thing we didn't get out there. So if we're going to be here for each other, let's truly feed each other. Because we only got us. Nobody else understands us but us. So we got to feed us in order to feed the new ones that come in. We can't be depleted when they get here. It is our job to help them get where we are. You know, I am so grateful for every last one of you. I can't say that enough. I am so grateful for Camp Mac, because it's like all the love that I received during the year, in these 4 days, it's like it's just overwhelming. It's like it's all built up. You know, all that 18 years of love that I've been getting from different places, when I get to Camp Mac, I feel it in full force. You know, it is just awesome to wake up in the morning and walk outside, be at the water, and somebody you don't even know walk up and say, hey, how you doing? Give them a hug. Hugs have kept me here. Hugs will continue to keep me here. And yes, I'm bossy. So when you see me, give me my hug, because you don't know where I'm at, because I ain't going to always share that I'm in pain. I ain't going to always share that I need a hug. Give my hug anyway. Then I can be able to feed you, because it might be at that moment the food is just stuck and I can't get it out. And that hug is that Heimlich maneuver I need. Thanks for letting me share. That's right.
I'm Shannon, I'm an addict. Hi, family. I say that a lot when I'm in meetings, because, you know, it's a big fellowship and we're all family. But this is really family down here.
All right, I finally got it.
I'm sorry. This weekend, a lady I dearly love and I fell out, and we're both irritable females, you know, speak our mind. Of course we're going to clash one day. And I thought my whole weekend was ruined, because I lived to see Sandy and Maria and everybody else, and Robert, and dancing, and but God works everything out. We don't see each other but this one weekend a year, and it's just like we just saw each other yesterday. You know what I mean? We catch up on stuff and how you doing and how's the kids, and I don't know people in my area as well as I know people here, because I'm real distant, you know, I'm phony, whatever you want to put it. I just keep my walls up because I don't get hurt that way. This weekend, you know, Robert said I was babysitting his kids. I wasn't babysitting, they was babysitting me. You know, we went and hanged and played cards, and I hang out with all my daughter's friends because I want to get to know them and see what they're about, and we had a good old time, you know. I guess I'm a child because I was bumping the music and we were just cruising along, and I can hang with the adults and act like an adult, and I can hang with the kids and act like a juvenile, and I'm okay with that. I haven't had this much fun in a long time. Every year's different, you know what I mean? I got depressed the second year I came here because I wanted to be like that first fix I got when I got here. And it wasn't. I was chasing it. And now I've learned every year is just a blessing and it's different. And I have bonds of friendships that I'd never want to lose here. And I made new ones. And I remember some people's names. Don't remember who the hell they married to, but I remember the name. I'm just really, really grateful. And, you know, my daughter's going to be turning 18 pretty soon. And And she was coming here when she was little, you know, doing the pedicures and manicures, and people have watched her grow up. This year she brought her friend, and I don't know, just I'm afraid she don't want to come back next year. But I think they had a good time, so they probably want to come back and hang out with Robin and Robert and Kim's son. I always forget his name. He looks just like Kim. I don't know. But I need numbers this year because I'm coming to damn Detroit. And I tried coming this year, and God just didn't want it to happen. And I got issues when I get home. I got to try and get my dogs out of the police dog pound. But God bless, you know, Mom paid for this weekend so I can take my money that I was going to pay for this weekend and go get my dogs out of jail. So, anyway, that's all I got. I'm just so blessed that I'm here.
I'm sorry, I have something else to say. I was thinking about that, I forgot. And my higher power helped me. I was thinking about Shannon. You know, if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be here either. She came to me, she said, Beverly, now I've been knowing Shannon about a month now. And she said, Beverly, you want to go to camp with me? I said, what camp? This camp I call MAC. And I didn't know. And I just want to thank her, y'all, because if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be here. She's such a beautiful person. I don't care what nobody say. And when we got here, I thought she was trying to get rid of me, cause she kept telling me, go somewhere, go. I said, you trying to dodge me? She said, no, I'm not trying to dodge you. Just get to know people. I'm so glad to have her as a friend, and I hope I come back next year with her.
My name is Michael Maddox. And first of all, I'd like to give God all the credit, because without him, I don't think I would have made it. I'm talking about a person, him and his wife got 6 teenage children, and you have to manipulate and get them to be in the proper places so we won't be getting all phone calls up here that this happened and that happened, and that's a job. Every time that phone rang, I'd be like, I hope it ain't nothing happened to one of them children, because I don't want to leave. But it's only through God's graces that everything went fine. The weather, I think, Robert, you understand, first year he came, after that, me and him was hanging, and I came, and man, I've been coming ever since. And this is one of the best weekends I done had. I say that because the weather was, man, off. Couldn't have asked for no better weather, okay? And it was only through God's grace. And I was looking at the weather all week, telling my wife, what is gonna be, what is gonna be. 2 weeks before Camp Mac, I was seeing Robin and them at their home group. I was like, when we gonna have a meeting to find out where we gonna meet up at, you know, because I was anxious. Because this is a thing that you come and you stay and you get all you need, you meet different people, and then you have to take this back to the real world and deal. And this gives me, you understand, some relief. So when I go back there, I can deal. Because I always can think about the wonderful time I had here. And I know when I deal, you understand, if I do it right, I'll come back the next time. I'm grateful for all you people, whatever. It's been a blessing. I met Joe, I talked to him, and you put on a wonderful job. You know, it's not easy to put on some stuff, whatever, okay, and you don't have cooperation with people. You know, I like how people, you know, they mess stuff up or they do different things, whatever. Like we had a thing out there in the back, whatever, and after we got done, we cleaned up all our mess. You know, that's a good thing. So it can't be said, oh, when people leave here, they leave it all messed up and trashed up or whatever. And that's why I believe that's one of the reasons why we be, you know, asked to come back year after year after year. And that's growth. That's grow with love, you know. Hey, I can't say enough for this place. And I'm looking forward, only through God's wishes, that I come back again. Thank you.
Go, baby.
Y'all say the serenity prayer, y'all. Hang around, say the serenity prayer. My name is Ricky, and I'm at. We have a goal in the South for the act, in and outside the circle, where the babies were born into the world with no choice, followed by the reversion of the serenity prayer. Prayer